have found the Genesis frequency. This is Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina welcoming you in to another episode of a show that focuses on your whole life prosperity and success. Whole life prosperity and success by cooperating with the universal laws that are available to each and every one of us. This is Quantum Leap Goal Achievement, radical personal transformation, whole life prosperity and success. Now, stay tuned for another exciting episode that'll move the needle in your life from where you are now to where you want to be. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it may be, wherever you are in the world when you hit that play button. So glad you did. This is Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina coming at you with another episode of the Genesis Frequency Podcast, a show that focuses on personal, professional, leadership, and spiritual development and how they all work with each other. They are not separate. You ever think about that? They're not separate. Personal, professional, leadership, spiritual development. No. And it's all about really being a better version of ourselves today than we were yesterday. So I've been on this track and I love the way this year is starting out here. And we're getting deeper and deeper into it. And we wrapped up the last episode talking about the importance of order and looking at the way some of the things I talk about and share with you, how they do tie together within order. Remember, order is the first law of the universe, heaven's first law, whatever you want to call it. Order, orderly environment, orderly thought, orderly ways of doing things, a certain way that I often talk about. And what we explored was how the mission, the vision, and the purpose and our goals, our personal and professional goals, all tie in with the order of be, do, have, thoughts plus feelings plus actions equals results, thought, word, and action, right? And how all of those really need to be in alignment. So we're just going to do a little recap today because I want to move on from this. It's a great start, and we got to get this right, right? You got to get this right. And when you get it right, you have that clarity, that crystallized thinking that we often talk about. You have to know where you're going and you have to establish the foundation, and that's what the mission and the vision and the purpose statements do for you. So I'm going to share a little bit more. We'll just do a quick AI synopsis of mission, vision, and purpose statements, which are really a set of guidelines that explains what an organization does, why it exists, and how it plans to achieve its goals. Now, we talked about in the last couple episodes uh, a lot about purpose and your purpose and what you're passionate about and what do you love. So you can really develop a mission, vision, and purpose statement for your life. Because remember, I said these all tie together: personal, professional, leadership, and spiritual development. So within your organization, within your company, within your small business, within your entrepreneurial endeavor, whether you're a solopreneur or you have a business that's rapidly growing or maybe even struggling along, your professional development should be tied in with what you want to achieve on the personal level because they feed off of each other. So indeed, even if you are working within an organization, you want to develop your own mission statement, vision statement, purpose statement. So you have a foundation and something that drives you to achieve your personal, professional, and spiritual goals every day, right? You want to wake up with reason. You want to wake up knowing that, hey, why do I do what I do? So you have a good sense of not only the foundation, but the bigger picture that we find in the vision. So Purpose, again, a purpose statement explains why an organization exists. For you, why do you exist? What are you passionate about? What do you love? A purpose statement articulates the organization's motivations and reasons for being. Why is it in business? Why are you doing what you do? A purpose statement guides the organization and connects what it wants to accomplish and how it will achieve it. So sometimes that how can be a little bit, yeah, we don't really always need to know how, but we just got to get this foundation defined. If we have the vision, we can define and identify those chunks, those steps that are going to get us there, right? All right, a mission statement defines what an organization does, who it serves, and what it aims to accomplish. It describes how the organization will achieve its purpose, guides the organization daily, provides the basis for judging the success of an organization. Hey, I'm on a mission here. If it's personally, hey, I'm on a mission. My purpose is to, you fill in the blanks, and then you define, I'm on a mission here to get this done. And this is how I'm going about it. This is what I'm doing. And again, you don't have to know all the hows, but here, how am I going about it? It might seem a little ironic. I'm saying, yeah, you don't have to know the how, but the mission is saying how you're going about it, and what we what you can imply there is that how I go about it is working in an efficient and effective way by identifying the steps, by identifying what I can do now, what I should do now, what I could do now that would move me closer to the overarching vision. I will be smart in my goal achievement process. I will develop the tools that I need, have them front and center at all times, my personalized goal planning system, which I can help you with, by the way, with my Time Success Planner, every goal achievement tool in there. It's not a calendar, it's a goal planning and achievement system. So if you want to get more information about that, reach out to me, Stephen, Stephen, at successocean.com. So then we move into that's our purpose, our mission, our vision. Our vision describes the desired future state of an organization. Personally, it can be the vision is our how we see ourselves with our goals achieved in every area of our lives. Yes, that is it. That is the ideal. And remember, even though it's a vision, we're moving into it energetically the moment we create it. The vision highlights the organization's long term intended path. Now, some of the the other countries, and maybe they do it in the United States as well, but some of these countries and in Japan, I have read, these organizations, I should say, they have these 50-year, 100-year, some even 500-year visions. Think about that, the planning that goes into that. The vision highlights the organization's long term intended path. It sets the expectation of what the organization will experience when it arrives at its destination. What will you experience when you identified your dream, you set the sail, you're exploring, you're imagining and discovering a lot of things along the way, the journey, right? So what does it all look like? And this inspires your team. This should inspire you too by showing them, by showing team members, by showing others in the organizations, people that have been there a long time. If you're establishing a new vision a new vision statement, or it's somebody that's just coming on and you want to move them into the culture. These are the foundational things that establish the culture, especially when they're front and center and everybody in the organization knows what they are. It inspires you, inspires the team by showing them how success will look and feel. This is what it's all about. And that's what culture is, moving into it energetically now. And that's how you make the quantum leap to where you want to be, by moving all the team members, everyone in the organization energetically. So they're walking it, talking it, feeling it, being it, doing it, having it in consciousness, right? Back to order, be, do, have. They're having this state front and center. They've moved into this emotional state of it being a reality now. That is absolutely positively key, and that establishes your culture as well. Now, I want to spend a little bit more time on vision, and I've spent some time here, but I can't emphasize enough how we really have to crystallize that vision. We have to not only be specific, but we have to have the clarity. When we have a crystallized vision, we have that clarity in that vision. We are better able to communicate it to team members, other individuals, and we have that clarity in our own consciousness. If we have a foggy vision, a dim vision, a vision with no clarity, we don't see it. It's kind of could be this, could be that, that's what our results are going to look like. And that's what we're going to establish within our team members. We're going to have they don't know what they're doing. They don't know where we're going. I'm just going to show up, collect my paycheck, put in my time, and I'm out of here. There's no direction here whatsoever. See the importance of this as a solid foundation in establishing how it relates to establishing culture. You don't want that. You gotta, that's why I'm spending so much time on this. You really have to establish your vision, your mission, your purpose, your mission, your vision, and even go further and establish your values. Define how you operate. What are your values? What's important to you? What are your principles that you're standing on? You know, and this should be a guide for all your board members, your team members, your staff, your managers, your supervisors, even volunteers. If you have volunteers in your organization to do a lot of work with ministries. So everybody has to be in alignment with all of these things. You have to be it. You're being it by moving into it energetically, and you're being what all this is. Then you're doing things that are in alignment with your purpose, your mission, your vision, and your values. And you can't help but experience, you can't help but realize, you can't help but demonstrate what's in the vision, which has been defined in the crystal clear vision. And your values, by the way, too, they're really ethical guidelines and standards that direct all the action and efforts of the organization. So those values and those principles should be distinct and connected to ensure that the organization, that you as an individual are working toward common goals. I want to share with you as if you're let me see how to say this. If you've been listening to this show for any length of time, you are probably well aware that I'm also a franchisee of Leadership Management International, and I have a company called Success Ocean International, which is the franchisee of Leadership Management International. But I established my company back in 2013, so we've got over a decade of doing personal, professional, and leadership and spiritual development, for a living, and doing this and sharing this and helping individuals and organizations achieve their goals. And I want to share with you from the founder, a book, Five Pillars of Leadership, written by Paul J. Meyer, the late Paul J. Meyer, who was the founder of Leadership Management International, and the current CEO, Randy Slechta. And in their book, they talk a little bit about creating that crystallized vision. And and again, crystallized clarity. It's so important. I'm just going to share this a couple paragraphs here so you can really lean into this. I really want to stress the importance of it. It says, the title of these few paragraphs is Creating a Crystallized Vision. It says, a mission statement tells your team members and customers what the business does, while a vision statement lets them know where the business is heading. If a mission statement is a critical element in developing highly effective leadership, then a vision statement should be regarded as something even more vital. For you, crystallizing your vision makes the process of becoming an effective leader much easier. For your associates, a concise vision identifies your overall business goals and links their goals to yours. Without a vision statement, many of your team members are likely to feel that they are part of something quite ordinary, something drab, dull, and lacking direction. Remember, I said that earlier. They don't know where they're going. I'm just going to show up and get a paycheck. Right? Let me continue. The vision statement sets the tone for the future of the company. It should be exciting but brief. It should convey a sense of urgency and a clear sense of corporate destiny. Remember, this is supporting what I just told you, that it establishes the foundation for the culture you want to establish because you want everyone to move into it energetically. And don't forget, let this be defined within your own mind, within your own consciousness, that this applies to you personally and professionally. If you want to be a highly effective leader, take a good look at your vision statement. If you don't have one, you need to set about creating one today. Not on the to do list for next week or down the road. Get this done. A vision statement defines the future. Every day you work without it, you are working for yesterday rather than for tomorrow. Your vision statement should be a conduit or channel for your goals and expectation. It should challenge you and your team members to a bright new future without burdening anyone with the mistakes and poor choices that may have been made in the past. Wow, that says it really, really well. That's why I wanted to share it with you, the importance of that. Now, I hope you're seeing all this: be, do, and have, thought, word, and action, purpose, mission, purpose, vision, all of this, all tying together, all in perfect order. Now, why we want, while I get excited about this, I talk so fast. While we want a very succinct and defined and brief vision statement, in putting all that together, we might have a document that's much larger than that concise statement. The vision statement is what we put out there, what we want everybody just to just get ingrained in their consciousness, to be able to move into the energy. It should be powerful. It should clearly state what everything looks like in its ideal state. But you might be working off of a much larger document, and that larger document should have so much clarity because remember, we're dealing with laws, and we're going to talk about this next week. We want to talk about moving into that power. We want to talk about moving into source energy and all of that. That's why I want to move on from this part of it, but laying the foundation is so important. So we we want to have that clarity because we're dealing with a law of specificity. We have to be specific. So maybe we have that larger document that we worked on, perhaps as a team, perhaps with your board, perhaps with your managers and supervisors, perhaps in ideation sessions throughout the entire organization involving everyone. If you're working on this personally, spending some time in the silence, scheduling some time with yourself, making an appointment with you to specifically get down to a crystallized vision and everything that's included in it. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to have a high level of attachment to that document. In fact, we're going to create it and release it and live from the vision statement. But we have it clearly defined. We see it. And I use the example in last week's episode or the one before that about, hey, I have a house by the water. No clarity there. And you end up living in a place that has a road with a chuck hole in it that the state and the county and the city have been arguing with who's supposed to take care of that road. It never gets fixed. It rains and it's fills with rainwater every time and there's puddles all over, yeah, you got your house by the water, all right, because there's no clarity, no specificity, right? So that's why you want to work off a document that has all your details in it. We'll talk more about not being attached to that throughout this year because we want a high level of participation, but low attachment to the details because things will move in to support us in greater and grander ways than we can possibly imagine at this stage while we're creating that document. But at least as a starting point right now, we want to know specifically how this looks. So get specific, work from a larger document that details the vision in all its grandeur. Did I say that right? And then you have a great foundation with all of this. Then you're in alignment. Okay, well, this is what we're going to be. This is what we're being every day. This is energetically what we're moving into now. This is our culture. So this is the foundation for what we do. Every day we show up doing everything, doing things in a certain way that is in alignment with purpose, mission, and vision, with our principles, with our values. I do things that in a certain way that are in alignment with all of this. Therefore, I'm being the person that's in alignment. I'm being energetically what the vision is calling for. See, be, do, and have. Then we'll have that. We're all on the same page. We're going to have the experience, the realization of what we have defined. And this is so important. I'm out of time for today. Would love to work with you. Would love to come into your organization and do this work. Would love to just have a conversation with you about the total leader concept. The total leader, looking at every area and doing some development work, identifying what can we do? Where are the pain points? Performance, productivity, priority management, profitability, communication, being distracted, empowering and coaching team members, all of that. Let's install some programs, some development programs that can help you overcome some of the challenges that we all face within our organization, within our lives. Reach out to me. Successappointment.com gets you on my calendar. Successappointment.com. It's just a calendar, not a sales page. Or Stephen, Stephen at successocean.com is my email. Reach out. Let's just talk. Let's just have a conversation about your challenges, where you might be stuck, and let's talk about a plan to move you forward in a positive direction, transforming, overcoming, and giving some life to that vision. For now, that's going to do it. We're out of time for today. You've been listening to the Genesis Frequency Podcast, personal, professional leadership, and spiritual development for organizations, companies, small business, entrepreneurial endeavors, or if you want to get started in an entrepreneurial endeavor. Always looking for people that would love to move into this very lucrative field of personal, professional, and leadership development. Have a number of different ways that you can do that. So use the same contact information to reach out to me. And hey, tell somebody about this podcast and share it, like it, comment on it. I read all the comments and I appreciate those when they do come in. For now, that's going to do it. This is Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kosmina, wishing you an infinitely spectacular day. God bless you.